Amen.
Well, I got a couple of jokes for you here tonight. And the first thing I got to say, I heard the one about that Brenda being quiet for 2 minutes. Y'all was wondering about my costume, and I was worried. In my travels, I've been to Lexington and Louisville looking for these teeth, and they were sold out. And I went over here to the Campbellsville Walmart, and they had a whole bunch, and I sat there and said, I was talking to the person next to me, I said, I reckon why they're not sold out on their teeth here. And the person said, well, you looked around Campbellsville lately? That wasn't right, I apologize. Well, there's this husband and wife one Sunday morning, and the wife was dressed up for church, and it was just about time for service, and she noticed her husband, who's just still laying there sleeping in bed and hadn't moved even a finger. And she walks in there and says, honey, get up. You got to get ready to go to church. And he says, I ain't going to church. I ain't ever getting up and going to that church again. Some of you can relate to that. Is that right? And he said, I ain't never going to that church again. And she sat there and she didn't know quite why he was saying that. And she says, he said, I don't want to go, and I give you 3 reasons. And she says, the people are cold. Nobody likes me. And third, I don't want to go. And the wife replied wisely, well, honey, I have 3 reasons why you should go. First, the congregation's warm. You know they are. Second, there are a few people there that like you. And third, you're the pastor. Thank you, honey, for waking me up that morning. Well, there was this kindergarten class that was given an assignment for show and tell. They were to share with the class an object which represented their religion. How do y'all do these false teeth? The next day at the show, I tell a boy got up and he said, well, I'm Jewish, and I'm going to take these things out so I can tell a decent joke.
That's how we do it.
You like true stories? This is how my dad carries his teeth. Oh, I gotta edit that. Well, the next day at show and tell, the boy shows up and he says, I'm Jewish and this is the Star of David. The girl got up and said, I'm Catholic and this is a rosary. And then this old boy, he gets up and he says, I'm Methodist and this is a casserole. A priest and a minister and a guru had a discussion one day about the best position to be in when you pray. The best position to be is kneeling, said the priest. No, said the minister, the best position to be in is with your hands outstretched to heaven. The guru said the best position is to be lying on the floor. Telephone repairman who's hanging outside the window overhearing this entire conversation says, the best praying I ever did was hanging upside down from the telephone pole. A 12-year-old boy was waiting outside the grocery store for his mother to come out when a man approached him and asked if he could tell him how to get to the post office. Sure, said the boy. Go down the street for 2 blocks, turn left, and the post office will be on the right in front of you. Thank you, said the man. I'm the new preacher in town, and I'd love for you and your family to come to my church on Sunday. I'll tell you how to get to heaven. Oh, come on, said the boy. You don't even know how to get to the post office. A little boy was part of his aunt's wedding party. As he was coming down the aisle during the ceremony, he would take a few steps, turn to one side of the aisle, and put his hands like claws and go, rah! He would take a few more steps, turn to the other side of his claws, and rah! He did this all the way down the aisle, and when he finally got to the end and they asked him, what on earth are you doing? He said, well, I'm just being the ring bearer. A little boy was acting up during worship service. His parents did their best to keep him quiet, but realizing that they were losing the battle, the dad picked the boy up and carried him out of the center aisle. All the way, the boy called loudly to the congregation, "Pray for me, pray for me." Matthew, this one's for you. Modern technology's the name. The preacher was fervently delivering his sermon, wired for sound, but not wireless. He moved briskly around the platform from one side to the other. As he turned, he would jerk his mic cord out of the way, and this one time he got it caught, the cord nearly tripping him. Trying to get loose, he whipped the cord around, only to get it wrapped around his leg. Little Rachel out in the congregation watched in fascination, then leaned toward her mother and whispered, "If he gets loose, is he going to hurt us?" A 10-year-old girl was getting more and more versed in the Bible under her grandmother's tutelage. But one day she had a question. She asked her, "Grandma, which virgin was Jesus' mother? The Virgin Mary or the King James Version?" When my grandson was visiting, you know what? This is obviously not my question, but I overheard David was telling this one. David's grandson was visiting. He said, "Do you know what you and God, how you and God are alike, David?"
I don't have a clue.
You're both old.